Hello everyone, Sultan here. I decided to do a theory video about Tempest Shadow. Ever since we saw Tempest Shadow in the movie My Little Pony from 2017, we could see a little bit about her background story. When she's a filly, that her how in some Ursa Major breaks her horn. And just shortly afterwards, she tries to spend time with her friends, but soon after this, her horn is broken, and that she can't control her magic, causes some explosions, which her friends avoids her. At that point, she gets angry and decided to leave her home and go somewhere, try to fix their horn. But there is a question that what happened to Tempest's parents? I mean, where is her parents? Didn't they ever try to find a daughter somewhere, try to bring her home? I mean, there is. She was like a young filly when she just abandoned her home and tried to find a way to repair or fix her horn. But what happened to her parents? Are they still alive? Or are they still looking for her? Or, I mean, what was their reaction when they found out that their daughter has just abandoned their home and somehow disappeared and they must have been looking for her? I mean, what kind of parents were even not looking for their own daughter? I mean, where could they? They must have looking around almost anywhere, even made some wanted posters to find their daughter. But what if they found out that their daughter is actually Tempest Shadow and the second lieutenant of Storm King, and very disappointment what a path she's chosen to be like a criminal or a bad guy who helping a villain to try to take over Equestria to steal the magic. If that happened, I can understand how the disappointment it feels and how much both anger and sorrow they feels for their daughter who made this very bad choice of their life. But what else could they have done? Even if they try to convince their daughter that they might find a way to heal her horn somewhere else. But what happens if they try to convince her that she can't live without her horn, or that they can find some wizard or skilled unicorn that can help them to repair her horn? What if she doesn't even believe them and decided to go out in the world to find her home? There's something to help to restore her horn again. But what happens if she doesn't even return back home? Hasn't she ever returned back home since after Storm King's defeat, and that she has traveling around with Grubber to spread the word that the Storm King is defeated? Hasn't she ever want to go back home to see her parents? Or if she is feeling so guilty, she's abandoned her family like that without saying anything? What if she has just feeling remorse, guilt that she abandoned her parents just like that? And if they're still alive, how would they feel that their daughter has been redeemed themselves and decided to go back and to live with their parents, or perhaps even return back home? What if she didn't want to go back home? And even if she did, it isn't an assurance that their parents would even want to do something with their daughter anymore. What if they decided to make her an outcast, or even cast her out from the family, and never want to have anything to do with her anymore. That would probably make her even more heartbroken, but she could probably feeling that is something that she might have feeling guilt and sadness about. But since she decided, and even if she might have figured out that they might have heard what she had done with the Storm King, and that since they had heard about this, and even if she's telling them that she is a good guy now and want to help restore the peace after Storm King's terror, it might even at first don't even want to talk to her, even want to see her anymore. But even if she comes back home and finds out that her parents are perhaps even have passed away, and before she could even have any moment or any chance to forgive themselves, forgive her, ask them forgiveness why she just abandoned them as a filly. There is not much unknown about her parents or about exactly location where she grew up. And since she grew up in a small town, it might be some in the east, west, or south, not anywhere. But the big questions: could her parents ever forgive their daughter after what she had done, or if they're still alive? I don't know much about that since we don't basically have nothing to go on. But deep down, I believe that they're still alive and they still live in their hometown, and that even if even if Tempest has been feeling sometimes guilty about this and even want to ask her parents for forgiveness, but at the same time that she might feeling something that hold her, something stops her not to really want to go there. Every time she is close by to her hometown, she somehow turns back and goes to leave the area before even have the chance to go there. But deep down, she might have been going back home to ask her parents for forgiveness. But even if she did, she must understand how much her parents have felt such sadness, sorrow, if mostly disappointment, or perhaps even sadness about how their only child just abandoned them as a filly to go out in the world to find something to help to restore her horn again. Any parent will probably feeling guilt or sadness or mostly want to find her or their child after again. They must have done anything to find her, like they must have sent out troops, they must have explored, they must have sent a help search rescue party around in the forest near in the area, or perhaps ask and spreading the word to other nearby towns to help to find their daughter. But after some search for maybe a year or 2 years, they probably have stopped searching for hope for any sign of the daughter alive. But after maybe 2 years of search, they probably think that their daughter is gone and was never coming back. And at first, it might be hard for them both to move on from their loss, and especially a mother who has more trouble to move on from this loss of her child. She has, which is one to protect. But at some point, she must have moved on. And even if they still both have moved on, but deep down that they know the daughter is still alive, but even if Tempest had ever returned back home, would her parents ever forgive her what she had done? Or perhaps that they don't even know that about Storm King and that she served him as his lieutenant. What if that her hometown is so far remote from anyone of this that is information or the news about the Storm King has never perhaps even reached her hometown and that they don't even know? But what if her parents doesn't even know what happened to their daughter after that she abandoned their hometown to go out in the world to find something that can help her restore her horn again. But the question is, have they ever give up the hope to find their daughter after that she abandoned them? Are they disappointed with what she just abandoned them like that? Any parent could feel guilt and sadness, but disappointment? I don't know, perhaps. But the most of the parents they could ever do is try to find their daughter after that she has abandoned them. But even if they found out that Tempest is still alive and that she has at some point perhaps returned back home, and they found out that she's still alive, and they must be very happy to see her, and she asked them for forgiveness for that she's abandoned them like that, and they apologize for her, and they feel sorry, and they explain that they have been looking for her all the time and never give up hope to find her, even if other opponents said that he will never find her. But he asked her if she had found anything out there who can help restore her horn again. And she probably would say no, and they would ask her what she had been doing all this time. And I can understand if Tempest might have feeling hard to explain that she has been traveling around the world and then end up in the service of an evil conqueror to try to take over Equestria, that she helped him to steal the magic from all the princesses, and that she helped them to feed him, and that she has been reformed, and that she has once again traveling around to telling that the Storm King is defeated, and that peace has once been restored, and that after she had been traveling around those kingdoms, and she had decided to go back home to make peace, forgive her parents, and once again try to start over with them. That is something that could happen, but I'm not so sure if they would understand, since at first might be hard for them both to even understand about what happened, if it's about the Storm King, but it would give them some time to make it to process all this information. But they just would be happy that their daughter is safe and that she's back home, and that just happy to see her again, even if it has been maybe 20 years. But in most of the time, but that is just one of those scenarios that could happen. We don't even know if her parents is even still alive, or even just one of them are alive, or both are. But since we don't have basically no information about any of our parents, if they're even both on a unicorn, or just one on a unicorn, or one is an earth. Since we don't know that, and we don't even know exactly the location where she grew up in her hometown, so all the information we have about her parents, her background after that, is basically zero. The only we have about her background is from the movie when she's singing, when her singing. That is the only part we have seen, but no mention or scene of her family, like her parents. We don't even know if she has siblings. But what I can say, I believe that both her parents are still alive, and that they have been searching for her for all these years, and they probably will be very, very happy to see her all after all this time. And even would probably have some hard time to process all this news, but still we would be happy to see her again after so long time. But I can understand if her parents were probably very much anger what she had done, but she also been happy to see that she had been redeemed herself, and that she had traveling around to help and make up for what she had done over the past few years. And if her parents were very happy, at least they would be happy to see that she is at least safe, and that she's well being taken care of. And it is likely that she will leave her hometown, but only to see Twilight and friends again from time to time. And well, that was the only about Tempest's parents I can come up with in this video. And I would like to hear what all you think about Tempest's parents. If you think that they're still alive, and that they were, or if they all if them both had passed away, what if they were alive, if they had been, would be happy to see their daughter and would understand what she had been done doing over the past years, and that she has been trying to restore her peace in those countries which Storm King has taken over. And you can leave all that in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is Swedish Diablo over and out.